Good morning, everyone. It is currently March 13th, and it's 7:04, and this is the general meeting of the Town of Colmar Manor. Is there a motion for us to bring the meeting to order?
I'll make that motion as stated.
Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Any opposed? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And the meeting is now in order. All right, so we're going to start out the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so it's time for us to have a moment of silence for those who are serving for us, those that are shut in, those with family members who are ill, and so many others with difficulties in their life. Okay, now can we have a moment of silence to totally appreciate all the blessings that we have in our life and all the good things that are happening and our family and friends and having them in our lives. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we're going to start the meeting with the mayor's report. Start out by saying that so Sunday was, in fact, the hardest day I've had as mayor. We have had 5 fires in town since I've been mayor, and this Sunday was the first where we had a fatality. Willie Mobley died in this fire, and I want to hope for everybody to pray for his family and friends and neighbors. He was a neighbor, a friend, and a part of the Colmar Manor family, and so I have to first put my recognition to him and hope that God gives him the blessings in his new realm in life. So that's first and foremost. As a part of that, I do want about their fire safety, preparedness, smoke detectors, fire extinguishers, how many cords do you carry on a light. We don't know what was the cause of this particular fire, and but we do know, unlike what news report says, he did have 2 smoke detectors in the house, so they're still investigating what may have been the difference in that being a positive outcome for him. So I say that. So next, I want to say something good. I want to say I'll wait till she gets here. I want to say happy birthday to Councilmember Boughton. And so this month, it's been a pretty busy month. I've been fairly well consumed over the last month in getting together our state of the town. And it was really good going through our statistics and the things that we've accomplished over the years and the progress that we're making. And so we're still in a positive momentum at this time in town in terms of revenues from the town center, the processes that we're putting in place with Public Works and with the preparation that we're doing for the code enforcement. We have agreed with Cottage City to share a code enforcement officer, so we'll be able to hire a full-time code enforcement officer, and we'll be starting those talks in a couple of weeks and go through the similar process that we went through with the chief. So we voted on doing it, they voted on doing it, so I'm very excited about that because, again, that's going to be a way for us to save money and get a better quality service. Of course, I've been through the Maryland Black Mayors. We're working on Allah. To provide recognition to those who are being given scholarships. And as far as I know, the scholarship committee is actively looking at the scholarships that have been requested here in town. I think we got 4 of them that came in. And so we should know soon so we can actually recognize our scholarship recipient. Another big thing is we went out to the State House. When I say we, I mean a lot of we's from municipalities all across the state in order to testify for the highway users tax. This is a piece of income that generally helps pay for your public works and your roads and maintenance, and it was stripped from, 95% of it was stripped from the budget 7 years ago, or a little bit longer than 7 years ago. And so we've been working year after year to try to get this back, and there was over 100 people from municipalities that were there and representing us with the Senate to help them or ask for them to restore this funding back to our budgets. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you. Councilmember Blue?
Good evening. First want to say, Ward 1, thank you for the cleanup. I can see some of you have cleaned up the yards and furniture on the porch and sides of the house, this and that. We are having a spring cleanup date also. I want you to check on the neighbors and the sick and the shut-ins, and if there's anything you can do for them, or maybe the council can do it, the mayor, please call the town hall. Also, the AM and PM bus kids, I noticed in the evening, it's people in town that are trying to get around the bus stop quick, and it's the bus time for the kids. So just drive careful and slow down and stop during the AM and PM with the children getting on and off the bus. If you see something, say something, please call a non-emergency number, and everyone has Chief's email address and his cell phone number. Be patient, spring is coming. I know we're tired of the cold weather, but spring's coming. And I want to say happy birthday to Cynthia Bowden, and thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Councilmember Jackson, or Mayor Pro Tem Jackson.
Good evening. I guess I want to pity pat off what the mayor said. This really was a tragedy that happened to us in town on Sunday. The residents on Monroe Street, they're very tight, very connected. They help each other out. So if you all do see any of the residents, please just say a few kind words, because I do know how close they are, and this tragedy, it affected me very bad. But with that being said, the mayor said that you have your smoke detectors and also have a plan, emergency plan, how to get out of the of your home. One of our residents, Jason, did put some good information on Nextdoor. I noticed that we have quite a few new residences on there, which is a good thing. Basically, and also I wanted to let you know this is a scholarship time. The delegates, the senators have scholarships, and most of them are due around April the 1st. So if you have a child that's going to college or maybe in college, they do have scholarships available. Also, just want you just to keep in mind, some of you parents, that you may have a little teenager that needs something to do during the summer. We will be hiring 2 employees, so just keep that in mind. I guess next month the mayor will give you an update on that. But thank you so much. My heart is really broken. Thank you. Hi, Kurt.
Yes. Okay, Councilmember Mendoza.
I don't have anything.
Okay.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, okay. I'll let the record reflect that Councilmember Boughton is here, 7:15. And do you have a report?
Oh, no report at this time.
Okay. What's the date? Easter? Is that going to be March 31st?
Yeah, March 31st.
It's inside of the, the news. March the 31st. Okay. So I want to have everybody come out, have a good time. Young or old, it's a nice day to come out and break bread with the neighbors and enjoy your stay out. So please come out. We're going to be at the Newton Street Park, right? We'll be back at the Newton Street Park, and so I'm going to give you, and mentioning the Newton Street Park, Just want to let you know, I don't know, is this, was this on the agenda? Oh, yeah, it's on here. Okay, so I'll get to that in a second. All right, so a couple things before I go on to do the work session report. I put in a newsletter just to let everybody know that we have fence paint here. And as the weather is changing, if you have fence that's rusting and you would like to have a can of paint in order to brighten up your fence, brighten up your house, brighten up your street, and brighten up the town, please do come and request paint. So we know that that's going to make the neighborhood nice. So another thing that came out recently was one of our neighbors came up here and said that he would like to volunteer to do something. And I thought that the yellow curbs that we have would stay so much nicer and look good if they were touched up all the time. And so he offered on his block to touch up the corners of his paint. And I thought that's a wonderful idea. Anybody who's interested in getting involved, you don't have a whole lot of time, and you want to participate in the beautification of our town, if you would be willing to get a can of yellow paint from here, because there's a certain type, you can call up here, talk to Public Works, and get a paint, and then as you see any kind of smudges on the paint right on your curb, just go and clear it right then and there. It'll make the neighborhood stay looking good all the time. So we really look forward to you guys volunteering to do that. That would certainly take some pressure off the Public Works as well. So if you want to do that, please contact us to do that. Okay, so the report on the work session, which was March 6th. We had a visit from the new church. Several of the principals from the church to give the council and myself an update on what's happening on the property, which is the National News property, which was purchased by Ethiopian Christian Church. And so they've done some renderings of the church. They're going to start production in the next few months of the front building. They're not taking the buildings that exist down. The front building, they're going to be converting it into a sanctuary. And we have had long conversations over the last several months. As a matter of fact, myself and the church in relationship to the second building, which they're going to have as a community center in a phase 1. They've submitted in their documents, it would be a community center and a classroom and so forth, and they've submitted to Maryland National Capital Park and Planning in their permitting documents that they were doing a phase 1 and a phase 2. So the phase 1 will be the sanctuary and the community center. A phase 2, they're going to build residential housing above the second building. And so we're expecting that we will have some more residential units. I'm really excited about it. As you know, with the church, we will lose the property taxes on it. But by them building these residential properties, it's going to make money for them, which will help support their church, but it also puts that property, that part of the property, back onto the tax rolls, and it will probably give us more money than what it currently does today. So I was very happy that they were interested when I made that suggestion to them. If they think of it that way, they went back, talked about it amongst themselves, and came back and realized that that would be a good approach for them as well. So hooray for negotiating. So that was a great outcome, and they gave us an update. We talked about inclement weather. So for anybody who doesn't know, our basic rule for inclement weather is that we follow the Prince George's County government for absences or closings and so forth. And so if the Prince George's County government has liberal leave, that means we have liberal leave. Now, we don't have as many employees as Prince George's County government, so if we have 2 employees to be here, but they call in both for liberal leave, then that means that we're going to be closed for the day, because we follow Prince George's County. Public Works and the police are considered essential employees, depending on what the interruption is, and so at least one or the other will be here in order to put the signs on the doors and so forth. We also had a conversation about trailers. Now, part of the conversation, we had 2 conversations. One is about a trailer that I have that I want to sell, and Public Works wants the trailer. So anyway, Public Works is going to go take a look at that trailer and get back and say if it's something that the town might want. Second, the conversation was mostly about the trailers on the street. We have a lot of trailers in this town. And with parking being a very important conversation amongst our town goers, the trailers still fall under the rule of everyone else that a car should be moved every 24 hours. And since most of these are trailers for moving things around and they don't move a lot. So we are going to, not too far in the future, ask for your opinion about trailers and whether or not, because our current ordinance says that they're supposed to be moved, and but yeah, it affects a lot of people. It would be preferable if you put your trailers in your driveways, because most people have more room in a driveway than for one car, so if the trailer's in the driveway, it opens up a spot on the street. So we'll have some additional conversation about that in the future. We talked about a sidewalk. We're putting in a permeable sidewalk on 40th Avenue, and thanks to a grant from Community Legacy, and then also the Porttown Shopping Center is also contributing $6,000 to the project, and that should start real soon. We should actually see activities happening on that very quickly. They'll do the curb cuts for wheelchairs first, and then come in and put the sidewalks probably next month or so. Talked about a bazaar. I'm going to put two things together here. We talked about the Bladensburg Road property that we're purchasing. So if you haven't heard, we're purchasing the property next to the KFC. And we got a bond bill from the state to help us make this purchase. And we spoke an update about the plans for the property is that we have a daily bazaar. So we'll have entrepreneurs who'll be able to come with their goods and services in order to sell from this bazaar. We're hoping that we will serve the economy with at least 40 people working for themselves in order to run the park. The bazaar is not going to be run by the staff here, but they run by the people that we bring in specifically for that purpose. So we're really hoping that it's going to be a contribution to the community in so many different ways by doing the bazaar. The bazaar will not be a yard sale. It will not be a garage sale. It's intended for new products or planned out products to be served. We will soon be getting that going in April. Hopefully we're going to closing before the end of this month on the property, and then we're going to start with a general flea market type of thing, and then we'll start structuring it more where we have some music and things like that. But I have a whole lot of people already are interested in getting out there and start selling their stuff. We talked about our appreciation dinner, which we do every year, is to appreciate people from the community who are contributing to the community, and how many people we're going to do and what the budget is going to be and so forth. We talked about bathroom signs, and there's bathroom signs directing you to the bathroom now. And we spoke about an MOU with National Capital Property Planning. Police, this is further in the agenda today. And so I'll let the chief, when he reports, give you more information about why we're doing this MOU and what it entails. Playground design. If you haven't heard, we're getting new playground equipment in the Newton Street Park, and we're really excited about that. And we'll be, we got that through a grant from, I think it's the Department of Environmental Services, and Environmental Resources, and we're also getting exercise equipment. So that'll be new. We'll have brand new playground in Newton Street and exercise equipment. It's going to be an awesome day. That'll be happening. That'll probably start happening in those just probably hopefully start work in about a month to 6 weeks on that. But we've made the final decision to move forward and voted on the what's going to be put in there. I gave the council an update on the Main Street. Main Street is a booth at the Maryland Municipal League Conference where you actually present what your community is and what you're doing. And so I gave them an update on the meetings that we've been having about that, which I probably should have reported out also in my mayor's report, because we've done a few of those meetings over the last month as well. We talked about the chairs in the facility. I mean, we do have a facility that we rent out, and it may not seem like a big deal, but this building makes money, and so we have to make sure that this building is up to par and prepared for the public on a regular basis. And so the chairs need some work, and so we've talked about several different ways that we may go about cleaning the chairs. But if that's not the case, we'll probably have more conversation about the chairs when we have our budget meetings, because we may have to replace the chairs. And then we talked about mosquitoes. So we have to make a decision on signing up for the mosquito program this year, and we've had difficulties with the decision about the mosquitoes each year because of the devastating scenarios that the mosquitoes. We tried doing training classes and helping people understand how do they stop it, but at the end of the day, we have a really swampy area, community, and so it's really hard. And so the noises comes from both sides, and I feel like in this community, there's really a very strong push from certain groups who feel really strongly about not having the mosquito spray. But equally or not, even if more, we have a really strong set of people who feel like it's absolutely essential that we spray. So we've made a decision, and right now I'm trying to decide out what is the best way to put the survey out. But we're going to put this to the residents of the town of Colmar Manor. We're going to put it to a vote, a simple vote. Do you want them or don't you? You should be getting something in the next couple of weeks, because we have to make a decision by, I think it's the first week in May, if we're going to make that request. So in the next couple of weeks, you'll get something, and it's going to be depending on what we get back. And we've agreed that we're going to go with the majority, whichever way that majority goes. And that way we know it was the people's decision and not us just trying to guess at who's got the loudest voice. So look forward to that. And that was it. That was the work session. So anybody have any updates or remember anything different than, okay. Thank you so much. Okay, so now we're going to move on to staff reports. We have our public works here. Sorry we missed doing staff reports for a little while, but we're back up and running, and we're going to have Mr. Gorham, Supervisor for Public Works, give us an update on what's going on in the public works world.
Mayor, Council, John Barr, Chief, how y'all this evening?
Okay.
Okay, this will be for October, November, December, then January and February report. First couple of weeks in October, we were still cutting grass throughout the town. Then we switched over to leaf season. We was going around blowing the leaves where we could blow them at, and we started picking them up. Went over to Eco City Farms to see if they would accept our leaves, and they ended up taking them. We ended up taking over 8 loads of them, which saved the town about $400, $500 instead of taking all the way down up to Marlboro and getting rid of them. Pepco came in and did some tree work throughout the town. Only had 2 complaints about the works that they did and took care of them. Fire marshal came in, inspected the town hall. I think we ended up having 5 violations, which we took care of, except for the sprinkler caps, which we still can't get a hold of nowhere. But he said other than that, we passed on all the violations that we had. Put together a new chair rack downstairs. That was one of the violations. Moved the tables and chairs from underneath the stairwells and put them up. Department of Correction came in during the leaf season and helped us clean up the leaves. Also came in a couple times to help just walk the streets picking up trash. We set up for Thanksgiving and Christmas for the seniors' luncheons. Decorated the town hall. attended meetings with Dan Baden with the State Highway about redoing the Bladensburg Road, Attended a meeting with Dan on the playground exercise equipment. Attended another meeting with Dan, the mayor, and the county on the streets and sidewalk repairs. Myself and Jerome attended a class in Ellicott City on energy efficient for the building here. We had the alarm system worked on, and then we had the elevator, the sprinkler system, the smoke alarm, and the fire alarm were all tested and all passed with no problems. Then we put snow plow on, salt spreader, and got the truck ready for winter, and went over to Hydesville and had a meeting with them on purchasing road salt from them. There we go. It only snowed like 3 times so far in January. We only ran the plow once, but we threw out 3 loads of salt once each time that it did snow. Emptied trash cans throughout the town and highway. Department of Corrections in, walking the streets again, picking up trash, cleaning the streets, spot cleaning the streets of leaves that did not get picked up. Cleaning of the gym floor, stairwells up and down. Then we started painting. We painted outreach room, council's chamber, the hallways, the bathroom doors, door frames, the hallways in the bathroom. Went down and repaired 2 picnic tables in the toddler park. Somehow bolts were taken out of them. And we ended up getting an estimate on a white truck because somebody ran into the back of the white truck when it was parked one night. I think it was $1,600 worth of damage. And that's pretty much it, besides the general cleaning of the building and the town.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I also want to mention that we've been tracking requests outside of normal duties of the Public Works Department. So now we're able to, and we actually have tracking numbers, so we can actually track when somebody calls, you need something, whether it's your recycle bin or there's a problem in the street or whatever. A lot of them are from the building. This is the updated one. If y'all want to replace the other one that was in your package with this new one, because the other one didn't have the titles and things on them. And so I'm happy that Public Works has been working with our intern, Christian, who builds the stuff in the spreadsheet, and they take the forms, which was, Jerome started the form, and then I've updated since, and so this is really good because it gives us the accountability, and I'm glad you guys are moving forward and using it. And I would say use them more. Anytime there's something that you have to do that's not the regular, just day-to-day stuff that you would normally do, fill out a form yourself.
Yeah, Yolanda was talking to me about that today.
Oh, okay, and so it's on record. And that way, everything you're doing is in a record somewhere, and then people have an idea. And when people say, well, what does your Public Works do other than pick up leaves? I'm going to say, they got to do all this stuff too.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Anybody have any questions, Public Works?
No, just like this morning, like the mayor said, Mike and Jerome.
They do a lot of things for the garden, and you've done a lot of work and help us out, so I would like to see it on the sheet.
Okay.
Because you ought to help us out.
Will do.
And thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, so our next report is from Recreation, and we have Ms. Watts.
Hello, Mayor, Council, Mr. Barr, Chief Lowry, and to our guests here and those that are looking at us on TV. Okay, this is the recreation report from October 2017. We had a volunteer pizza party for our wonderful volunteers that we have here on October 21st at Three Brothers Restaurant. 30 to 40 people attended. We all enjoyed pizza, soft drinks, raffles, and we had a few jackpot winners from our scratch-off tickets. Councilmember Jackson and Councilmember Bolden also came to celebrate with us. Our Harvest Fest was the greatest. We had about 200 in attendance, plenty goodies, games, hay rides, a movie room, and a trip to the garden where everyone received a pumpkin. Special thanks to the Garden Club for that special twist, and to all of our volunteers who worked diligently. Thank you, Chief Lowry, for your contribution of $100 also. The budget for the Volunteers Day was $325. My expenses were $300. There was a balance of $25 left. The budget for the Harvest Fest was $525. My expenses were $524.19, with the balance of 81 cents. Breeze Hand Dance collected $1,104. The charter school gym rental brought in $1,800. The gym and exercise room, we brought in $144. The church basketball rental brought in $385. We have a boot camp fitness that I had mentioned some time ago. We brought in $326. The total income from Recreation Department, October 2017, $3,199. November 2017, special thanks to Breeze and his country dancers and several of his partners for their very generous holiday contribution of $1,370. The town distributed gift cards, holiday baskets, and toys to our residents. Breeze Hand Dance collected $1,360. His Thanksgiving donation to the town was $1,370. Total from Breeze, $2,730. The gym exercise room collected $106. The charter school gym rental was $1,800. The total income from Recreation Department November 2017, $4,642. December 2017, our town holiday party was December the 9th. Thank you to all who supported our toy drive. DJ Goody, Sharon Malone, and her Zumba class, the Colmar Manor Police Department, Breeze and his country dancers, the Colmar Manor volunteer volleyball team, Council Member Cynthia Bowden, Andre and Frederica Lewis, and the American Legion. It does the heart and soul good to see so many smiley faces when the children receive their gifts. The Black History Program is Saturday, February the 17th, 2018, from 3 to 6 p.m., located in the Diana Fennell Hall. All were welcome to come and celebrate with us. The budget for the holiday party was $1,000. Donation from Breeze Hand Dancing was $164. A budget of $1,164. The expenses were $1,166.91, over budgeted $2.91. Breeze Hand Dance collected $1,106. Gym exercise, $119. Charter school rental, $1,600. Vendor tables from the holiday party, we collected $58. The raffle sales from the holiday party, we collected $100. The total income from Recreation Department, December 2017, $2,983. January 2018, Happy New Year to everyone. Looking forward to a productive year. The month of January is all about preparing for the 2018 upcoming events. I have confirmed dates, time, location, and items needed so far. Upcoming events include our Black History Program, which was Saturday, February the 17th. Our upcoming Easter egg hunt is Saturday, March 31st from 3 to 6 p.m. at the Newton Street Park. Our appreciation dinner is Friday, April the 13th from 6:30 to 9 p.m. here at the Diana Fennell Hall. Cinco de Mayo, Saturday, May 4th, 6 p.m. to 12 midnight in our gym. Port Towns Day is September the 15th, Saturday, from 1 to 6 p.m. at the Bladensburg Waterfront Park. Colmar Manor Day is Saturday, September 22nd, between 12 and 5 p.m. at the Newton Street Park. Our Harvest Fest would be Saturday, October 26th from 5 to 8 p.m. here in the Diana Fennell Hall. And last is our holiday party, Saturday, December 21st from 4 to 7 here at the Diana Fennell Hall. The monies collected: Breeze Hand Dancing, $1,072. Charter School rental were $2,000. Our gym and exercise room was $153. The total income from Recreation Department, January 2018, $3,225. February 2018. This year we joined together with the Carter City for our annual Black History Program. It was a success and very entertaining. Thanks to everyone who helped make it memorable and to our guests as well. The budget for the Black History Program was $500. Our expenses were $489.11, a balance of $10.89. Monies collected also was Breeze Hand Dancing, $764, Charter Schools, $1,800, Gym and Exercise, $560.50. Total income from Recreation Department, February 2018, $3,124.50. This concludes the Recreation Department report for October 2017 through February 2018. Any questions?
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. And as always, I want to thank you. One of my goals was bringing this building to life, and you're a key party in doing that.
Thank
So,
you, Mayor.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So from staff perspective, I also want to report out on the hall rentals. So as of this day in March, we have 86,000. Our rental revenue has been 86,489. Now we budgeted for $90,000, and for the period right now from March through June 30th is $12,389. So we have at this point, and we're still renting, it's 86, 96, 97, 98. We're at $98,000. So right now we're already surpassing our budget. I'm so excited. This could not be done without the staff and the energy they put into doing this right, treating our customers well, and we look for being able to do even more. Next year, I would like for us to actually start doing business rentals during the week in the building for business meetings and retreats and so forth, and that'll be our next set of goals. So that's the staff report. I also want to say that trees. I'm very excited that they're about to order our trees. We know that we're going to get at least 25. I'm waiting to hear back from Park and Planning because there's another approximately, I think, 25 that were cut down on Park and Planning property, but we need Park and Planning to request new trees so that we can get those new trees. Also happy to say that the CDC from Riverdale Park are about to get trees, and they want to partner with us in putting trees on people's property. So anybody out there who would like a tree on your property, they go through the process of not just giving you the tree, but helping you understand where's the best place to put it. If you have stormwater management issues somewhere, they also work with you on how to care for the tree. And so I'm excited that they've come and asked us. We should be getting some more information about that soon. And also what I don't know if Mike mentioned it, but we are part of a pet waste grant. And I think Councilmember Jackson and Mike Gorham will be going to the training or workshop on the pet waste process. They'll be giving us the pet waste containers and go through the process of learning what's the best way to do it. This is costing us nothing, and it's going to be of a great help to us. And so what we'll probably do once they learn more is probably try to do a forum via the Green Team on pet waste things that can be done, not for, everybody participating in how to best do this. And then also as an update on Green Street, we have made a decision on the people who are going to be doing the concept plan. And this grant also is funding for some workshops for people to understand what they can do in their own way in order to have a healthy relationship with the environment. And so the plan is that Newark Road will become a green street. So excited about that too.
Right.
So anyway, it's in the first state. Yes, we'll get trees, and then we have that, and we have the painting on the sidewalk and whatever. So our next item on the agenda is the treasurer's report. So Mr. Barter, you want to go through that? Mr. Baton is absent.
Yes, thank you. Madam Mayor, members of the council, before you today in your packet, you will find the treasurer's report for February 28th, 2018. That is for the 8 months since the beginning of the fiscal year, or for 3/4 of the fiscal year that is currently passed. Revenues are shown as $1,341,442.93, or 49.8% of those budgeted. The big differences being a grant which the town anticipates to receive, and additional red light camera revenue and rental income which the town expects to receive. And that is the major difference between the 8% and the 50.2% that is currently available. Also, income taxes, which are not due until April 15th of this year and remitted by the state to the town, have not been received. I would also point your attention to the fact that general government operations for the 8 months are $350,314.13 against a budgeted amount of $846,100, or only 41% of that appropriated. Similarly, with payroll taxes and benefits for general government expenditures, the spent amount is $51,592.56 against an appropriated amount of $92,350, or 55.9% of that appropriated. The rest be remaining unexpended for the 4 months remaining in the fiscal year. Other items worthy of note are that Public Works has expended $154,106.36 of the $299,477 appropriated, or roughly 51% of those amounts. With regard to public safety, the town appropriated $437,990, but has only expended $198,301.90, or 45.3% of the funds expended. The community center operations are $60,240.70 of the $73,155 expended, or 82.3%, a number which will have to be closely watched during the next 4 months. The town has reserves and balances currently, which are mostly unreserved funds, in the amount of $929,212.46. Now, of those assets, $69,251.78 are in a cash account at Sun Trust. $30,975.86 is in the town's payroll account at Sun Trust, and $2,801.53 is a receivable from PayPal. I would further note that the town has investments of $1,057,745.89 in the Maryland Local Government Investment Pool, petty cash of $400 in Town Hall, and $250 with the Police Department. And that would be the Treasurer's Report for the end of February 2018. And I'd ask the council to approve the same.
Okay, is there any questions from the council in relationship to the report? Okay, I'll make a comment that the basic rule of thumb is that we're at 58% of the year, and therefore we would be at 58% of the expenses. But there generally is differences. The largest budget area is general expenses, and it's at 41%. So there's a significant difference, or less spending in the general budget than is in the months in the year. So we are probably some outliers there as to why that's so much lower, but overall lower is good. I will point out that code enforcement it's high, and it looks like it's pretty much relative to salaries. We have been paying an intern since we haven't had code enforcement, and we've moved some funds out of code enforcement because of the fact that we didn't have an officer. So that's why that's high. And I'll comment that the community center operations is high. The reason why that's high is associated, partly in reason why general is really, really low. We started work sharing several months ago. So cross-working. So different people from different areas could do different things. And so we're not completely just locked into, oh, you're recreation or you're admin or you're the bus, you know. So by doing that, people were being charged to simply the area that they had originally been charged to be a part of. And therefore that cross thing that's happening hasn't yet been formed in the process of a timesheet, where the timesheet shows what area you worked in, as opposed to you just blanketly going into one area. So that's the same case with the code enforcement. We have Christian here. Christian works for every department, police, code, for the general part, for the rentals and everything. So we have to come up with different processes to how people are charged. But that's the reason why rec expense is so high. Other than that, I mean, we're under budget in general, and that's a good thing. I'm glad to hear that. And so, you know, I'm sure we'll come in on budget in so many different ways. So is there a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
Yes, I'll make that motion as stated.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Okay, I'll call for a vote. Ward 1?
Aye.
Ward 2?
Aye.
Ward 3?
Aye.
Ward 4?
Aye.
And the mayor votes aye. All right. So this has been approved. The treasurer's report is approved. Okay. The next item on the agenda is the police report. Chief
Thank you, Mayor, Council, Mr. Barr,
Lowry.
folks on TV, good evening. Just a couple of things, we'll just highlight a couple of incidents that occurred, then we'll go through some department issues, some of the statistics, and then some forward-thinking things that we're doing. But first of all, I just want to express, as already been done, my condolences to the Mobley family. My prayers are certainly with the family and the neighbors and the entire community that knew this gentleman. As the mayor said, it's an extremely tragic event. We've been in constant contact with the Prince George's County Fire Marshal, and as soon as we have concrete information, that information will be shared with the mayor and council and then the citizens. Well, I'll talk about that a little bit later, about some initiatives the mayor already talked about as far as fire safety. So just a couple of things. This in the last month, in February of 2018, we had 56 calls for service. Two of those, one of them was an individual that assaulted 3 people inside of the McDonald's. Fortunately, we were able to get there quickly. We knew the individual. We were able to make an arrest on the subject. He was arrested and charged with 3 felony counts of assault. Most of the people that were involved knew each other, but again, we were very fortunate the folks didn't sustain a significant amount of injuries. I bring this up because we got multiple calls from people to our police department. So it just shows how the folks, when they see something, has already been said, they're saying something and they're asking for help. The other issue was a vehicle that was broken into in the Colmar Manor shopping center near the IHOP. And the only reason, again, although we only had 2 in the entire month, again, it's the #1 crime in Prince George's County, and I'll say it every time that we have these meetings, and it's the #1 most preventable. So we really ask their folks to lock the cars, remove their valuables, or at least hide them and place them in the trunk. This gentleman was only inside of one of our business establishments for about 12 minutes. And from the time he walked in to the time he walked out, the individuals were able to break into his car and steal his radio. So we're very encouraged that the folks are locking their cars. We go through, not just through the shopping center, but we go through the residential areas, and if we see a car with the doors unlocked, we'll actually lock the vehicle and we'll leave a note with the owner. Just a couple of department issues. I indicated on February 5th, we had another police applicant interview. We're very encouraged with the number of folks that we've had. We thought we'd closed it out, but we had 2 individuals that wanted to apply. We're in the final stages of identifying those two folks. We're going to bring those before the mayor and the council real quickly. Like I said, I'm very encouraged. Both of these individuals are extremely well educated. They have a great background, and one also speaks Spanish, so that'll help our community greatly. As the mayor talked about with the code enforcement, I've been meeting with the Prince George's County Permitting and Inspections Enforcement Division to look at the training opportunities they're going to give our folks for free of charge. Also, working in kind of concert with them, it's a little bit of collaboration as far as coming up with just some proposed job descriptions, but the work group between Colmar Manor and Cottage City will define all that. We'll look to see what our citizens want, where our focus is, and then hopefully we can get that fast tracked. Our next meeting is March the 21st on that. Just a couple other things. National Night Out. Our National Night Out is planned for August the 7th. Of this year. Last year we had a joint National Night Out with Cottage City and Colmar Manor. This year we'll be having 2 separate ones. We've got a work group. They've already met twice, and they'll be meeting again this week. As a matter of fact, we're going to have it on Newark Road between 40th Place and 41st Avenue, but we'll certainly advise the community when that road's going to be shut down. But we're really looking forward to not only showcasing what the police department can do, but building the community rapport that we have. I want to thank the citizens of Colmar Manor and Cottage City that came out for the police funeral for Sergeant Mohammed Rasmadeen. It was a unique police funeral, so the police cars were actually lined up on Bladensburg Road. And I know it was a little bit of an inconvenience, but even the police chief came to me and he was so impressed with the number of folks from both communities that come out and stood in support of that family. So I really thank you for that. Our next Neighborhood Watch meeting is March the 22nd. Councilmember Blue normally heads that up. We've got also on March the 27th, in keeping up with our community rapport, we're going to Rogers Heights. There's a career day there on that day, and they've asked the police department to come in and to speak to the children about law enforcement and public safety. So I'm really encouraged by that. Really looking forward to it. The calls for service, again, that we have the handout here. That was 56. There were 72 last month, so we had a decline in that. I'm very encouraged that we didn't have any break-in reports. Again, we had no pedestrians injured on Bladensburg Road. That's something we talk about frequently, about the folks using the crosswalks. The one assault is the one we talked about with an arrest. The 2 accidents were very minor. They were both parking lot motor vehicle accidents. So the traffic hazard was actually the tree branches that were in the road. We helped with Public Works with clearing that out. So I just encourage the folks. The mayor talked about The number, and then the council members also, about the number to call, again, if it's a non-emergency, it's 301-352-1200, and that goes to the Prince George's County Communication Dispatch. So if a Colmar Manor or Cottage City officer is available, they'll send them. If not, they'll send the Prince George's County Police Department. The mayor talked about the MOU. We've been working for over a year. When I say we, representatives from Colmar Manor, representatives from Cottage City with the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning. Part of that work group, and it's not only dealing with the public safety, but it's also talking about improving the trails, the markings, putting up lighting, doing some environmental safety procedures. That's cutting back some of the underbrush. And there's been a pretty significant work group on that. However, part of it is an MOU between the Maryland National Capital Park Police and the Cottage City Police Department, and an MOU between the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning and the Colmar Manor Police Department. So what does that do? That enables two things. It increases the public safety. So it does not mean that it's going to detract from any of the patrol activities that our officers currently are involved in. It does give us concurrent jurisdiction with the park police, so that if we happen to be patrolling either here back in the parks in Colmar Manor or on the Cottage City side, and I want to emphasize, we will not be on east of the Anacostia, even though there is land over there from Colmar Manor and Cottage City. We won't be patrolling there. But what it does, it enables, if the park police request a backup, we're there. If we're patrolling there and we see something, we have the powers of arrest, and we have concurrent jurisdiction. Once the park police come, they have the primary responsibility, one. Two, it helps in intelligence sharing. The two police departments, this enhances our ability to communicate with each other. If there's a crime, perhaps even on the other side of Colmar Manor or Cottage City on the park property, we're notified about it, and it could have an impact on our citizens. So in the long run, it's a no-cost initiative, but it does increase the collaboration between those two organizations. So those MOUs have been looked at by both town attorneys. The mayor and the council looked at it. We've made some markups, and that's gone back to the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning for their review. So once that's solidified, it'll be signed by the mayor and the council, and then we'll bring that back to the public. But again, it just increases the collaboration in the public safety issue. The last thing I wanted to talk about is the fire safety initiative. Again, certainly for the tragedy that occurred on Monroe Street, the very next day, Chief Barksdale from the Prince George's County Fire Department, he and probably, I think I counted 20 members of the fire department that were out here, and they were going door to door, knocking on people's doors, seeing if they had smoke detectors, and if they did, they would come in and test them. If they didn't, they would give free smoke detectors to anybody that wants it. So I'd like to give out some information. There's some brochures over on the table for the folks that are here. We'll put this information on our website, but I do want to let you know, if you live in Prince George's County, you are eligible for a free smoke detector in your house. It's a no-cost initiative. The only thing you have to do, I want to make sure you've got this number, is 301-864-SAFE, S-A-F-E, or that's 7233. When you call that number, you can schedule, the fire department will come out, and not only will they give you free smoke detectors, they'll check what you have, but they'll do a free safety advisory of your residence for free. And so they really encourage us to get that information out to the public. And again, even if you don't want them to come out and do a safety inspection, if you call